'Tis quiet.
Patrons, connoisseurs, friends, my humblest thanks for joining me here at the unveiling of my collection's crowning jewel. There is much more I should like to say, but the anticipation is apt to kill me should I stall another moment. Let us gaze upon the sculpture now. Wow, what splendid work this is. Let us give a round of applause for young Fulvio, who breathed life into this block of stone. And for the good Arisen, who aided him in his noble venture.
That sculpture was rather impressive, wasn't it? 'Twas well worth rendering our aid, methinks.
That was certainly worthwhile. I've just had a thought. When I recall our first visit to Burnworth, I cannot help but be astounded at how far you've come, Master. We shall carry this city in our hearts wherever we tread.
More time than I know how to spend.
Anywhere better than living in a crowd.
Mine is a life devoted to humble.
I soon stay out.
Won't someone talk about this?
Oh, what does this say? Let's have a look then.
I'll train for this.
Still a while to go before my shift's over.
I'll train for this.
All this worrying's giving... I've just recalled a little tidbit I heard from the locals. Regarding the Vermundian military, yes? Indeed. Tell is, there's been a shift in the chain of command. Yes, sir. Ah, forgive me. If that's not the case, you'll have to
Ah, Sir Arisen. I've been meaning to speak with you. I see. After the rather strongly worded letter I received, I feared as much. 'Twas under unique circumstances, shall we say, that Daphne came to reside with us. You must understand, the House of the Blue Sunbright is our most generous benefactor, and their favor hinges upon our thus, for the sake of all who reside herein, I beg you to steer Daphne away from any further contact with that household. Though it pains me to perpetuate the girl's misfortune, it must be done if the gracious hand is to continue to function.
Ah, I'll take that. We might find a use for it.
Tisn't the dragon.
Suppose that's enough for one day.
I swear it. If it were up to me, I'd never leave.
What was it I had to do?
I've trained for this.
Living's hard. But
Ain't nothing but trouble left in here. So, Sense my...
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. But in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premises. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whate'er treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived, an unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now, even their poor son, by chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care. Wickedness has no... Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there! Help me! Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... Gah... Something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but I can hardly move.
A moment's prayer can do a world of good.
Each of our patients deserves our full attention. Would that we had more hands to aid us.
Someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone?
Medicine? Medicine! 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 Now! Now! Now!
What teachings might salve the pupil's world?
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below. Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all and yet a part of me is afeared for them.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. You've my thanks. Of course, all the better should you find evidence fit to implicate her. Will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the Sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
What about this reeks of a plot? Let us gather evidence that we might expose it.
I quite agree. How might we enter the basement sick room? Well said.
There was a patient man.
I do hope naught befalls Lubomir.
I have noticed that the abbess goes out every night without fail. Perhaps you could wait for her to leave and slip into the basement sick room then.
What's got you in such a good mood?
Just remember, I've somewhere to be.
I've trained for this.
We must rest, though the sun is still. All I've learned, I shall turn to your service, Arisen. The sun may have fallen, but the day is far from over. Shall we check our packs and be off?
Shall we get underway?
I'd sooner stay out of battle where it possible.
Stomach's complaining. I'll have an early supper.
Mobility's here.
Crops will benefit from all this sunshine.
You came to see me? A fine place to harvest some ingredients. No harm in picking a few. How might we enter the basement sick room? Well said.
Where's my comb?
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like record Johann and Bruno. I know these two. They left here not long ago, fit as a pair of fiddles. I recall them being especially meek to the abbess. Mayhap that's what got them out safely. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would speak to them in...
Wickedness has no hold upon a tranquil mind.
Do you perchance remember me? You once knew me as maid to the young master, Sebastian. Well, I'm his maid no longer. Though I meant no harm, the mistress saw fit to turn me out. Tell no other soul of this, but the girl I had you fetch was none other than Sebastian's own twin sister. Afeared of inviting conflict over their inheritance, Daphne's family branded her a cursed babe and sent her away. Yet the loss of her newborn child drove the mistress half mad with grief. She's been bedridden ever since. I had hoped the sight of her long-lost daughter might rekindle some vital spark within my mistress, but alas, 'twould seem it was not to be. In the end, my good intentions served only to rob me of my... I suppose 'twas no less than my due for meddling in the affairs of the nobility.
I want to go home. My legs are fair numb.
Oh, this bear is
I'm in
my
no
arse out
fit
of
state.
bed.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
Elena. Ah, yes. the abbess of the gracious hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died down there. And once, I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up, and he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. He had the look of a scoundrel about him. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh? Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night, as I recall.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me back to full health. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all. Let aunt say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the sick. Suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
Suppose I can finish it tomorrow.
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like Johann and Bruno. I recall them being especially meek. At any rate, they may know aught of you.
Wickedness has no hold
It's so dull when there's nothing to do.
Ain't nothing but trouble lurking here.
I don't like it here. I want to go home.
Such quiet here.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special medicine.
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
Aye, be seeing you.
This is not the first we've heard of Lord Phasus. What could his aim be, I wonder? I'm not sure what we're dealing with here.
I fear I've much to attend to.
What's got you in such a good mood? Do tell.
I'd swear I've not blinked once in the last hour. Wood for all my days.
This headache's driving me up the wall, Tiz.
I ought to be getting home.
I need not strive to know. I must be grateful. At least I have a full bed.
Perfect spot for it.
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like Johann and Bruno. I recall them being especially meek. At any rate, they may know...
My duty to devote my life to prayer and virtue.
We found some evidence, but there might be more to discover. Let us scour every inch of this room.
Splendid.
I need...
Oh, someone help. Oh, someone help me. Jack?
Where's my gag? My claws could use a retrieve in the grave.
I've made my bed. Now to lie in it.
All this worrying's giving me a bad.
One of these days I'll find my... Wonder if I'm
What's got you in such a good mood?
Shall we get some rest then? Good morrow, everyone. Come. We've much to be getting on with.
I hope you slept well.
I must say, this doesn't sit well with me at all.
It's too much.
You're the Arisen, aye? There's aught I'd ask of you. A personage of great esteem is to return from Batal to Vermin. I speak of Sir Augustin. He is a noble and the leading voice of opposition against the Queen Regent. Your aid is requested in guarding his ox cart as it travels the high road. As a potential ally to your cause, 'twould do you no favors if he were to come to harm. I trust he will cooperate, and bear in mind that this is a matter of the utmost secrecy. You have your orders. Read them, and follow them to the letter.
Perhaps we ought to hurry, lest we arrive too late to be of aid. Be wary. The foe is not yet encountered. Here, an enchantment of scrolls to freeze our foes. Down the flame before it is too late.
Well met, sir. How might I be of service? In my line of business, patience is key. Do come again. You seem in fine spirits.
Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a bastard.
Need anything? Got some good things on offer. Stop by again soon.
Welcome to... And quality is what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, just remember, misers die early. Many thanks. I appreciate the business.
Not buying? That's just as well. Better to be selective than wasteful. The Arisen is ever prudent in the application of coin.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be glad to assist you.
Always a pleasure.
Well met, sir.
Where's my comb? My fur's in a right.
I'm aching for a fight.
The monster's really scary. I've never seen one. You're always...
Why, hello. It is good to see you are well. Blessed be its servants.
How do you do?
I fear I've much to attend to.
The pursuit of betterment is an endless journey.
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? What? You found a medicine used only in the basement sick room? Do you think... Could I trouble you to look into this? Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw before coming here. Radcliffe. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must know.
Methinks we would do well to bring this medicine to Sir Ratcliffe, the doctor over in the rest town. Right you are.
I shall gladly aid you. If 'tis within my power.
Maybe I'll make myself scarce.
Every day, peace is
I've got the sharpest ears in town.
Always another errand to see to.
Best check my stock before.
Ox carts make for relatively safer travel. Fewer monsters are to be found on the main road, though carts travel only by the sun's light.